Hey guys. I'm actually very excited about today. Today's one of those days where I feel like for me, I'm going back into my learning chair because, a lot of things have changed and my business actually started um, with my friends, right? My friends and family, which at that time were all broke. So I built my business on broke customers, which was, everyone I knew. Like, when you're broke, broke people. I didn't know any rich people back time. So my job was to help broke people have good enough credit and just enough money so they could sign their name and buy a house. But I kind of feel like I've been displaced from that. So I don't know the new tools, the new tricks, and the new choice. But it's always been a market that's been underserved. I've seen so many people, even in my own group, take advantage of helping people grow their net worth by getting that first home under contract. And I'm interested and excited about this. I'm just kind of giving my own little spling on this. I mean, I think I'm gonna let Rebecca do the intro here, but I'm so excited about today. I think today is one of those days where if you're listening and you're getting these tools and you're out here and you're on the mindset of gap, which is growth, action, and production, you're gonna have a head start. Because first of all, I think you're crazy if you think this. I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I'm going to start just doing listings." You're freaking nuts. I built my business on buyers. The truth of the matter, I've never seen a HUD in my entire life. I've never been to a closing where only a seller showed up. The guy who brings the money and makes the deal has always been the buyer. So that's been my philosophy. And I do plenty of listings. I do plenty of buyers, but every listing I ever got early in my career came from a buyer that I sold their home and created an absolute loyalty with, and I sold their home over and over and over and over again because every seller is also a buyer. So, Rebecca, tell us about our speaker today, and let's get this going. By the way, your hair looks great.
Oh, thank you. I went a little curly today. But
Back
I
to the
have
roots.
got thanks. I've got to agree with you. One of the most exciting things for me is when you can help that buyer who probably has a little bit less than perfect credit, or heck, maybe really bad credit, and help them to restore that credit. Now, we don't personally do that, but we want to use trusted people who can help get that job done for them. And if we are a guide, right, we're looking for the problems, what are the solutions that we can bring to people? And it's probably the most challenging, but also the most rewarding in the end when you can help a family to be able to restore their credit and be able to be homeowners. So I get really excited about today's topic, which is transforming credit and empowering home ownership. That is super exciting to me. And if you know somebody that should be on this call, do me a favor. Can you just share the link with them? You need to be on this call, gapmastermind.com. We do these meetings every Monday like clockwork. It's 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. Figure out your time zone. Invite someone to be on this call right now. They need to know how they can provide solutions for their buyers. And you're right, we shouldn't just only be focused on listings, although, hey, you want to list to last, but we're listing for buyers. So we will have to be able to provide solutions when we find that buyers are struggling to buy in today's market. And this is one of the best ways to do it. So I'm excited to introduce our speaker today. Our speaker is she's from Credit Snitch, and her professional background, she has innovative marketing. She is an innovative market disruptor in credit restoration. She has a degree in business administration and international business, over 2 decades of corporate experience, right hand to the SVP of sales of Adobe Systems and Sales Division, positioned at PC Magazine, expertise in marketing, sales, corporate business acumen. Jesus, the list goes on. But when I like to
You
Thank
got somebody
you.
began
famous.
due to more personal struggle than unfair credit industry practices. And don't we know that is so truth? And
So true.
when you start something because of there's a passion behind that. So I'm excited to get to learn
Yeah.
from you today. Angelique Soto, please welcome her in the chat. We're excited. Take some time, Angelique.
Thank you, Rebecca, for that huge introduction. Gil, I appreciate you for having me, both of you. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Who am I? I am an accidental credit restoration professional, right? Tell God your plan and then he'll come and remix it. And that's what he's done for me. May I share my slide? Is that okay with you guys? Let me
You're good to
share.
go.
Okay, wonderful. So I have a great presentation for everyone. I am the founder and CEO of Credit Snitch. We are the unqualified buyers pipeline and home buyer success team. All right, I'm going to go through the gamut of so much, and it's filled with so much value to help your clients. And I'm not just pushing a product; I am the product. Right. So I am the founder and the CEO, Accidental Credit Restoration Professional, and I am a corporate professional with a degree in business administration, as mentioned earlier today, in international business. My career path was not foreseen that it's as a credit restoration professional. So with over 2 years, over 2 decades of corporate experience, including roles as at organizations like Adobe Systems, PC Magazine, Klein Davidson Mann, pharma advertising, that is where I really began to understand the machine of marketing. And I oversaw process organization's efficiency, right? So process is who I am. So when I went through my journey of having a low credit score of 540 and a nasty divorce, I knew absolutely nothing about credit literacy, but I was helping CEOs run their businesses. How did that happen? What did I miss in school? Where was the class that was teaching me about credit literacy? And how come the people in my sphere of influence or in my network didn't know anything about credit? So it blew my mind. It was hard to find a place to live without a good credit score. I had to hire 2 credit imposters, is what I call them, who stole my money and did no work. I became angry. I was at the most desperate time in my life, and 2 people took advantage of me back to back. I then jumped on, so let me say this. Imagine getting swindled, going through a divorce, trying to fix your life, adulting with credit, and then you just don't know where to go. No one seems to know. So I went on YouTube University and, excuse me, guys, these trials. I went on YouTube University to learn everything I could about credit. I then met my mentor from Atlanta who helped me turn my credit around, and I opened Airbnbs and replaced my excess income with a new 6-figure income within 6 months. It was huge. The stuff she taught me, I even learned so much more since then. My family and friends saw me all over social media changing my life and asked me to help them with their credit. My cousin Cindy introduced me to a loan officer at guaranteed rate. And after I turned 2 of his clients around in 30 to 60 days, he sent a company worldwide email bragging. And every lender came knocking on my door. Hence the birth of Credit Snitch. This is nothing I planned. My journey caused me to embrace a higher calling. So I realized there were a lot of injustices in the credit process, right? Convoluted. No one seems to know what is the rate, the scoring, right? Because it's weighted. So I wanted to be a change in the world. I saw that there was no thought leaders in my market, my network, and I wanted to become that person for the people in my network. However, this adversity fueled my determination to transform the underserved market, driven by a newfound purpose, right? So I felt like God was saying to me, okay, you had a plan to be in corporate America, but other people need you. I felt a responsibility to my people, to my network. I am my brother's keeper. I put God at the head of my life, and he has shown me a path. I collaborate closely with lending companies now, like Florida Wholesale Mortgage, cross country mortgage, and more. I also partner with the FIG team, Compass, and so many more realties. I thank them all for allowing me to give them insight and guidance. Last year was our record-breaking year. We boasting countless success stories for the first-time home buyers and referrals totaling over 22.2 million to date. That is how much business we've given back to realtors. And I never in my life, if you told me I'd be doing this, I'd be like, absolutely not. Through my expertise and unwavering dedication, I empower clients to turn their dreams of home ownership into reality. I was one of those people. I didn't think I could become a homeowner. I didn't believe that was in the cards for me. And when I understood how credit worked, it changed the way I looked at everything. In addition to my work in credit restoration, we expanded our repertoire with a financial advisor. So that is some of the services we offer here, who impart essential financial literacy skills for professionals, for personal household and money management for consumers. I feel like that's really important. I get a lot of clients who don't even have household budgets, and that's really important. I find that, hold on one second, guys, okay. I find that a lot of households are just with a budget in memory, and it's really important for us to understand that we have to actually see how our budget is working. So we have a therapeutic boot camp mindset training that enables individuals to uncover and enhance their relationship with money, right? People dealing with check to check, dealing with financial trauma. We help people through that. Through these initiatives, we've raised our program graduation rate to 90% success. We build real relationships, and there's nothing better than that feeling than watching a client achieve home ownership when they thought they never could. It's a beautiful experience. My next question is, anybody have any questions right now? Rebecca, Gil?
No, I think we could
Michelle?
continue.
Okay, great. We will leave questions for the end then. How many unqualified buyers are sitting in your CRMs? That's the big question. Gil?
I say a bunch.
Okay, great. And so many realtors,
Unfortunately,
so
I
many
would say-
brokerages.
I say with 30,000 buyers in my platform, I mean, there's got to be at least 3,000 people who,
Thank you.
raise their hand and they say, you know what, I'd love to buy. I'm going to go look at some pretty pictures, but then they back off because they have that internal fear that not only do they think that they don't have enough credit, that there's no hope. They've tried everything, right? And that's unfortunately, that's a desperate place to be, and it can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run if you don't actually go out there and get the help that you need to get that done. I personally remember when the first time we started looking at a house, and the lender said, "Hey, listen, we need to put some work in your numbers here because I think we were in the 500 range, which that's where we were at that time. I was a 580. It was good enough to buy a car, so I was like, it must be good enough to buy a house, but it wasn't, right? So we were like, oh, we had like student loan debts and we had this and blah blah. So we were like, okay, we got to fix some stuff here. So it wasn't until we talked to my wife and I, 10, 15 years ago, and talked to like a professional and said, you know what? Here's a plan. Here's what you want to do. It's like, here's where you want to be. Here's where you are right now. No problem. We'll get you there. So, I mean, I'm listening.
Absolutely. And there are so many people with unqualified buyers sitting in their CRM systems and not knowing what to do with them, right? So sales is waiting for you. And this is where we shine. And through my journey, Credit Snitch is a credit restoration literacy company that helps credit challenged consumers become mortgage ready. I love that process. Through partnerships with lenders and realtors, together as a home buyer success team, we work to achieve mortgage ready success. So Credit Snitch has insights into how mortgages are qualified. That's a huge level of experience I've gained and I'm really proud of. Our mission is to create an in-house credit nurturing solution where unqualified buyers are educated, empowered, and approved for the home of their dreams within 3 to 6 months or less in most cases. See, what we do at Credit Snitch is we don't look at the entire credit report as a whole. We look at the disqualifying factors to get people into pre-approval. That is the key. That's why we're able to turn it around so quickly. And we also educate. Credit Snitch is revolutionizing real estate pipelines by making the unqualified buyers pre-approval in less than 1 year. By embracing Credit Snitch to become your lead nurturing ecosystem, you are increasing ROI by 10 to 20% over last year's profits. And we have seen this with a lot of our partners, and we're proud of creating that for everyone that we work with. When unqualified buyers gain pre-approval, they eagerly enter into the home buyer market. This is something I want you all to pay attention to, regardless of the interest rates. You know how we get a lot of clients that say, well, I'm not interested in buying right now because the rates are too high? Not with unqualified buyers. Their goal is to secure their dream home, expecting to refinance for a lower rate in the future. Okay, so you need to seize that. It's such a great opportunity. Also, nurturing leads foster a deeper relationship with you, with me, with your lender, and often produce 4 or more family and friend referrals within the first year. You know, building that trust with your clients that they can refer you out to other people in their family and their friends is such a compliment to the level of service that we provide. And we've been paramount in doing that, forging those relationships. According to FINRA Industry Regulatory Authority, 47% of Americans are financially illiterate. I don't know if people know this. So that means even on this call, potentially 4.5 out of 10 people have a low credit score. And that's really huge. That means some people on this Zoom have a low credit score, and that stops as of today. I'm on this phone and I'm on this Zoom, and I want to appeal to everyone who has a low credit score. You owe it to yourself and your family to resolve that financial limitation. I am offering a 1-day 20% discount to everyone in need of this service on this call. You need to experience this, and you need to lift the limitation of having a low credit score. Book a confidential consultation today at creditsnitch.com. I am super excited to help everyone on the Zoom call to experience what life is like with no limits, no credit limits, and just endless possibilities of building wealth. That is what credit is. What I want to talk about also is the 5 commandments of credit. A lot of people don't even know what governs a credit score, okay? And this is really important. There are 5 factors that affect your credit score. Payment history, 35% of your score, okay? Pay your bills on time. It is the most important part of your credit score. Missing one payment will have a bigger negative impact than anything else. You will lose up to 120 points with one late payment within a year, and it will affect you and stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. That is serious, guys. So I often tell my clients, don't take late payments so lightly. It's one of the biggest factors that affect your credit score, okay? Then we have credit utilization. This is debt to income ratio, guys. Super important. 30% of your credit score, okay? That's the second highest. Try to only use 30% of your available credit. For example, if you have 2 credit cards with a $10,000 total limit, try to keep your balances to $3,000 or lower, right? I tell my clients, if you're going for approvals and cars and homes, you should be at 0 if you can do that, because that's when your credit score will be its highest, okay? And you want to take advantage of those wonderful rates that you get when your score is at its highest, right? So we have credit history, 15% of your score. Keep your credit cards open even if you aren't using them anymore. This is so important. I see people closing credit cards, and it could affect your credit score tremendously, okay? Closing accounts will shorten your credit history and will lower your credit score. You could have a credit card that has 10 years history, and because you're tired of paying that annual fee, you close it and you lose all of that juicy 10-year history, and your score will drop dramatically. So please be careful when using credit cards. I often tell people, if you want, engage your credit cards every 5 months. Because on the 6th month, if you are not using it, you will lose it. Credit companies need you using your credit card. So the cutoff is 5 months. So every 5 months, engage that credit card. Do a little small purchase of $20. Make sure all of your credit cards are on auto payment, minimum payment, 7 days before the due date. This is another part that people don't understand. Auto payment is paramount. Even if you do not have money in your account and it auto debits your account, it counts as a payment. People do not know that. Even if there's no money in the account, you will incur a chargeback fee of $30 to $40, but I prefer for that to happen than you end up with a 7-year late payment and your score dropping up to 120 points. Does anyone have any questions about this? Gil, Rebecca, did you know anything about that?
I'd tell you right now, I'm on auto pay, but I don't know if I'm 7 days before. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my auto pays and see how that works
Yes,
out.
sir.
But I gotta tell
Yes,
you,
sir.
I come, it's funny for me now because of where me and my wife are financially, but I remember the fear of turning on auto pay because maybe the money's not going to be there the day that payment goes through. And I'm like, hearing you say that right now, it's like, yeah, it might cost me $30,000, but it might cost me tens of thousands of dollars with higher interest fees and things of that nature. So like financial mastery is at the utmost importance. Everything's being scored on your credit profile, from your car payment to your interest on your home. Everything matters. So if this one little thing, this one little nugget you can teach yourself and your clients, it can make a big difference. So I'm just taking notes right here. I'm going to go check all my auto pays and find out if they're actually happening the day they're due, or if I can put them 7 days before.
Yes. And I instated this rule when a lot of my clients came to me and said, but it was on auto pay and it didn't work. And then some companies would say, like Wells Fargo, after 8 auto debits, the auto pay automatically goes off. And this is so common. And I'm like, wow, the trickery, you know? And now because of that, I tell all of my clients and state that auto pay 7 days before the due date. So you have 3 to 4 days to check if it has debited, and you still have a grace period to not be late. This is the safety net for the safety net. And this is how we need to operate, because our credit is that important. Okay. We have credit mix. 10% of your score. Try to keep a good mix of different types of credit. Credit cards, student loans, auto loans, and mortgages all count towards having a good mix of credit. It is self-explanatory, okay? New credit, 10% of your score. Try not to open up a bunch of new credit cards at once. They result in hard inquiries, which lower your credit score, and they can make you look like a credit risk. Okay, so you are only allowed 5 inquiries every 2 years if you want to keep a healthy percentage. All right, so that's 2.5 credit cards every year. That is the limit, guys, because the financial institutions and the algorithm will start talking about you. The minute you apply for more than 5 in 2 years, you're looked at as a risk. You are mismanaging your money. Why are you leveraging so much credit? And this is a conversation that they have amongst the algorithm. LexisNexis, CoreLogic, Innovis, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, they're all talking and sharing information. So be very wise about the credit cards you choose, and try not to go after too many store cards, because their rates are high. And you want the flexibility of being able to shop anywhere, right? And then if you go on youtube.com, university as I call it, you can do travel hacking. I have an American Express Platinum that allows me into all the lounges. And there's this beautiful treatment of going in and being spoiled and having TSA pre, and all these wonderful benefits of having a beautiful credit card that supports you in your credit journey. Perks, right? Okay, so credit issues. We are telling secrets, the snitches in the building. This is the juicy stuff. Right? So late payments, a single late payment in the first year can lower your credit score by up to 120 points. Don't forget this. Now we're going into collections. All right. Collections. These shouldn't be paid unless negotiated for 30 to 40% less than the debt amount, which you can potentially negotiate for deletion upon payment. All right. You could potentially get a deletion if you have negotiating power. A lot of the collection companies will say no, but you have to be persistent. Don't take no for an answer. Collections can also be voided if they are past the statute of limitations. A lot of people don't know this. After 5 years in the state of Florida, you can send a cease and desist to a collection company and tell them, no, it's past 5 years. You cannot collect on this debt anymore. Shut it down. And I love being able to do that. Okay, so know your rights. Charge-offs. The debt has been written off as a loss. Okay, guys? Clients can request debt forgiveness or pay the debt, but it will appear as a charge-off, though marked as paid. Don't forget that. Okay? Bankruptcy. The first year is the hardest. I often tell my clients, just don't even touch it. Let's coast for a year and do the best we can with managing after recovering from the financial disaster, right? Removal can be disputed, but it is very difficult the first year, though not impossible, all right? Chapter 7 bankruptcies typically leave the report after 10 years, while Chapter 13 bankruptcies typically leave the report after 7 years. but it does not mean you cannot rebuild a credit profile after the first year. I've done it for many clients. You will be limited with the types of credit cards you will be approved for. You will not get a Sapphire with a bankruptcy on your credit report. You will not get an American Express Platinum with a bankruptcy on your report, but you can rebuild your credit profile. Okay, keep that in mind. It's not the end of the world. And I often tell people, if you do not own any assets, you should really consider whether or not you should file for bankruptcy, because the credit companies are coming after assets to pay back for debts. Okay, and if you have nothing to give, that's called insolvency. And in tax language, you can do a lot with insolvency. But I'm going to advise a lot of the leaders on this call to maybe do a deep dive with me on a different day so that we can go into more details as to what is insolvency, how taxes can help you in the credit situation when dealing with insolvency. Okay. Inquiries, limited. Okay, so you are limited to 2.5 per year, as I said earlier, and no more than 5 every 2 years. Inquiries fall off your credit report every 2 years. Keep this in mind. Avoid dealership financing for cars, okay? Why do I say this? Instead, first of all, I say go to your local credit union or bank for a blank auto loan cashier's check. They will give you that, and you can go into the dealership and sign the blank check for the exact amount that you want to pay. Okay. Why do I talk about dealerships? I want a lot of my clients to understand the minute you sign Section 21 on the dealership agreement, you're basically giving them permission to run your credit as many times as they want, under the guise of, we are giving you competitive rates. No. They are killing your inquiries and bringing down your credit score. Okay, let's be more informed. We need to be informed consumers. And that brings me to invite you all to join and become and subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Informed Consumer, the Smart Consumer. We talk about these things and we get into detail about what to avoid in the credit world. Any questions so far, Gil?
Yeah, so I got a question on that
Sure.
21 agreement, right? So that avoid the dealership agreement 21, would that also be applicable for people who are going to these online mortgage companies like a Lending Tree or what have you, where they're also selling you on the same concept of, hey, just shop here and then we'll shop you around?
Well, I'm going to say with mortgages, it's different. More companies are doing soft pulls, right? They're called pre-approvals. So it's more like a peekaboo and you don't lose your inquiries. Now, for the companies who you do incur an inquiry with, it's a hard inquiry. When it's mortgage related, no matter within 30 days, no matter how many loans you go for, it's still counted as one within the 30-day period. It doesn't affect you the same as an auto loan. Does that answer your question?
That's good to know, because a lot of times as real estate professionals, local real estate agents, we sometimes get someone who comes in with this pre-approval from this XYZ bank and it's usually one of those, like the bank that they walk into every day and they feel like, oh, I know the loan officer there. I think I'm just going to use Betty over at my local Wells Fargo Bank of America. And it tends out to be maybe sometimes not the most competitive situation. So one of the fears that they have is like, well, I don't want to shop the rate, even though we know our local trusted advisor might be able to get them a better rate or save them on some of the fees. So to overcome that, we do need to explain to them that, hey, listen, as long as you're shopping in this 30-day period, you can do as many inquiries for a mortgage without incurring any additional inquiries. That's correct?
Correct. And I would only shop around 3 to 4 times. I wouldn't do anything more than that. You should be able to get a great competitive rate amongst 4.
Good stuff.
Okay. Here we go. Debt to income ratios. I did an entire podcast about this. Go to YouTube, guys. It's juicy. I brought in my financial advisor who also advises my clients, Cisse Tarok. And I also brought in cross-country lender to share about debt to income ratios on from a lender's perspective. So do you have a 401k or a 401(b)? I love this. I help my clients find solutions for debt to income ratio issues all the time. You could potentially take a loan from the retirement account to pay off debts. Okay, I love this part because it helps a lot of my clients keep their assets and pay down their debts and refi, access equity in the home for repairs or whatever it is that they need, right? Do you have a cash value life insurance policy? You can take a loan to pay off debts as well, or anything in your lifestyle. I tell clients all the time, and this is for the entrepreneurs on the line. You could use this as your safety net. The cash value life insurance policy, I used it. I created this years ago and used it for Airbnb, right? It was my safety net for my safety net. It was my bank. There are no limitations when it comes to a cash value life insurance policy. A credit score does not determine whether or not you can access the money in this asset. Okay, so I tell a lot of my clients, learn about cash value life insurance policy. They are your best friends. And that is also another discussion we can have in the future. Hard money loans. Taking a high risk loan carries hefty fees, but can help in a pinch as well. So I talk about hard money loans in my program, and we use them quite a bit with some clients who want to access equity. So remember, I tell a lot of my clients, I understand that you may want your client to sell the home, but to be a trusted resource in your network with your clients, to lead them to hard money loans so that they don't have to sell their asset, okay? And they can access the equity makes you a thought leader. Hey, you may not be getting that sale at the moment, but guess what? You're gaining trust and relationship. And you will create more referrals in that network as the thought leader to their friends and family. Okay. If you have a credit score that is good and you own a home, you could get a home equity line of credit to help with the repayment of debts. We talk about this with all of our clients as well. We walk them through the process to understand what is what is debt to income and what is a home equity line of credit. Okay, we will also work with your lenders to make sure that they understand that process and why it is helpful and how it could potentially be an option. Okay, then we have client education tools. Credit Snitch adds value from the door. I love educating. It is my mission. Client education tools, the Credit Snitch Guide. We have our automated credit analysis link, which is www.creditsnitchguide.com. We offer a guide that walks every client through understanding their credit score, factors influencing their credit scores, navigating the path to credit success, embracing the process, right? Embracing the process is commitment. And what I've learned is a lot of people have an issue with commitment, okay? Follow through. There's a reason why gyms make so much money from people and they pay these dues monthly and people don't show up and we're still overweight. Guilty. But I'm just saying, commitment is really important. And we go through this mindset part of our business to help make our clients successful. And we support you in that. You no longer have to be the therapist. We have a therapist on staff, and she helps with everything when it comes to commitment issues, right? Then we also have prepare for lender and realtor interactions. When we have our first time home buyers, they're like not really sure how things work, and we explain that to them. We support you as the realtor and the lender to reiterate the obvious. The things you're telling them is actually all in this book now, reinforcing what you've said. Like, don't buy a car before you buy a house. Don't shift your income. Key things that are important for buyers to know why they are going through the buying process. Okay, so feel free to take this link, share it. It is a wealth of knowledge. And then we have lender realtor guide. Want to partner with us? We make our automations so simple for lenders and realtors to join us so that we can be implemented as your unqualified buyer's pipeline. Okay. Our link here is a video. It tells you how you can go about it. It's easy as emailing me, asoto@creditsnitch.com, for your sign up template. I send an email back. It's an email introduction to the client. It's cut and paste easy. You CC me on that email. We begin the relationship and the introduction to walking your client into qualified status. Okay. We talk about in this book that is sent to you as well, when you begin service with us, who is Credit Snitch? Who is the founder and CEO, which is me? what I stand on, what is my mission and the pillars of my foundation, of my company. The services we offer, boot camp mindset, relationship with money, we're helping consumers be successful in their journey. And in this book, it says everything we do, and it also lists our team members who support me. Show your clients you are credit friendly. I love this option. This has really changed the game for a lot of my lenders and realtors. Displaying your credit restoration, you're a credit restoration friendly company in your email signature helps disarm ashamed credit challenged clients. It shows you are a credit friendly community, a trusted resource, a thought leader, and it also brings in future referrals. You became that resource that they could trust, that brought them to the finish line, to the clear to close. So this is a tool that I love. It disarms me the minute I see other realtors who are into helping their clients, going the mile to help them be successful. This is it. This is a game changer. It starts with credit. There are more people with credit issues in the world than debt to income issues. Sorry to say it like that. Home buyer credit program, HCP. Our prices are well priced in the market. We are competitively priced. We do evaluations, education, budgeting, savings, payment plan options, and lump sum. Pricing that fits within any budget. We save down payment funds as well when we're helping them budget. We also offer pay at closing options, which is available in limited space. We have lender collaborations where we work with lenders that you work with to find out what are the disqualifying factors and getting straight to it to get them approved as quickly as possible. That collaboration is paramount and it changes the way the journey goes. Could be very short, and I love those the most. We just turned around Manuela Leon's client in 60 days from the FIG team. She was approved for $417.99, and we had her graduation. Feel free to go to IG, Credit Snitch, and see that graduation. We celebrated, and I tag teamed with the lender and the realtor, and a success in 60 days. It was wonderful. We offer white glove service, unlike other credit restoration professionals. They do the work behind the scenes. The clients are never given any information or education, which is more likely for them to become repeat offenders and being in a situation where they cannot access their equity in the future, right? We want to protect their credit scores. We want to empower. We want to make them successful. Therefore, they will always be loyal to us because we've helped them in their journey to be successful. Our fees and packages go from $299 to $599 for the more complex and longer situations. And our clients are happy with our service. Okay, now we are going into why business credit is better than personal credit. I love this part because we have a lot of entrepreneurs on the phone, on the Zoom. And, it's really important for us to understand that credit is power, but business credit is wealth, okay? And why do I say this? Separation of finance, okay? Liability protection. Business credit separates personal and business liabilities, protecting personal assets in case of business debt and legal issues. This is fabulous. You guys have no idea. You know how when you use your personal credit, the more utilization, the lower the credit score? It's the complete opposite in business. The more you use, the more they give you. They're like, go for it, be successful. And that's what I love. I myself have an Amex Platinum business card that is unlimited, and it gives me opportunity, so much opportunity. And that's what I want to give to the entrepreneurs on this forum. And I will explain more in a moment. Simplified accounting, keeping business and personal finances separate simplifies account and tax preparation. Do not pierce the veil, okay, guys, because there is a veil between personal and business. Okay. And if you pierce that veil and intermingle, what happens is you give our government the opportunity to audit everything and be all the way in your business. And giving our government that kind of power, yeah, I don't know. I don't co-sign that. So we need to be very aware of how we are becoming entrepreneurs and how we're loaning our businesses money from our personal accounts and making sure our books are in order and our credit and business credit are separate. Super important. And we can get deeper into that topic at another time for a deep dive with your leaders, or you can book me personally to have these conversations. We're only doing an overview. Higher credit limits, access to larger funds. That was another part of it that I said earlier. Business credit lines and loans typically offer higher credit limits compared to personal credit, supporting significant business expenses and growth initiatives. Enhancing cash flow. In the beginning of my business, cash flow was a problem. And this happens to a lot of new entrepreneurs, right? Because we don't know everything. Higher limits improve cash flow management, allowing businesses to handle larger transactions and investments. It's game changing, okay? Builds business credit history, okay? Credit worthiness. Establishing a strong business credit profile enhances the company's credit worthiness, making it easier to secure loans, leases, favorable terms, and supplies, okay? Now, I have a lot of entrepreneurs in my network who wanted to open up Airbnbs like me, Toros. This business credit allows you that, okay? And it doesn't affect your personal credit score if you do it right, okay? Future financing. A solid business credit history can lead to a better financing option and terms in the future. People used to go to banks for loans for businesses. You can be the bank. Create the credit worthiness in your business profile to unlock unlimited lines of credit and be powerful. Wealth is in business credit. You can create that. I wasn't born with a bag of money. I'm not a trust fund baby. I had to create it through my personal and going into my business. Okay. Protect personal credit. Reduces personal risk. Okay. These are the pros of having business credit and separating it from personal, okay? Using business credit for business expenses prevents personal credit from being affected by business financial activities. Reducing risk, that is the most important part of personal credit scores declining, okay? If you own properties on your personal side and you're using it for business, you lower your credit score and you cannot access equity, okay? If you're having cash flow issues, your personal will take a hit, okay? And late payments are detrimental to a refi, are detrimental to home equity loan access. We need to be careful. So that's why it's important to separate the two, right? Access to business-specific resources, rewards and benefits, okay? This is what I was talking about, those Delta lounges that I love so much. I love to be spoiled. Rewards and benefits. Business credit cards and loans often come with rewards, benefits, discounts tailored to business needs, okay? Such as travel rewards, cash back on office supplies, and expense management tools. I love this, okay? I live for my Amex. Supports business growth. This is the part that's near and dear because as I'm scaling as an entrepreneur and having unlimited lines of credit on my business profile, sky's the limit for me. Right? I can create and scale without limitation, obviously managing budgets, right? And cash flow, but I can be strategic about my growth and be unlimited. Okay. And that's what we need as growing entrepreneurs in this landscape. We want to have the autonomy to do and dream big and have the finances to support it, right? Investment and expansion. Business credit facilitates investment in growth opportunities, such as expanding operations, purchasing equipment, or hiring staff. We're all growing. We need assistance. Okay. I love my assistant, David. I can't live without him. Financial flexibility. It provides financial flexibility to respond to the market opportunities and challenges promptly. For example, I was given the opportunity to buy a property for $1 million, right? It had to happen quick. It was a wholesale deal. I was so excited that I could take my Amex and slap that bad boy on it and purchase it. And guess what? Do a wholesale deal for $2.5 million and turn it around that quickly. It was a wonderful experience. Not everyone gets to do that. But when you have lines of credit that are unlimited, you can do amazing things and opportunities are at your feet. You just need to decide wisely. That's the best way to say it. Any questions, Gil and Rebecca, or anyone on our forum?
I feel like I'm dominating the questions, Rebecca, so I'm gonna let you just jump in here.
I actually had a question, Angelique.
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so I wanted to know about the SOL for the collection. Is that like based on the collection agency, or is that like standard? Because I have a client right now, I'm helping her repair her credit for she could buy a home. And she
Okay.
has some things that we're working on, like getting off of her credit.
Okay.
So is that something that, like, if it's past the SOL, can she just dispute it? Like, how should we go about that?
Yeah, I would say the statute of limitations is 5 years. Is she in Florida?
She is now, yes. So she's military. She just moved
Okay,
back down.
excellent. So then you would create a cease and assist, and you would let the collection company know that they are outside of statute of limitations, and you would quote the consumer law, find it. All right. You would find the law quoted in the letter, and let them know you know your rights as a consumer, right? And tell them you will expect a return, right? An inquiry, well, actually an answer in 30 days, letting you know that this has been resolved and closed. Otherwise, you will have to seek legal counsel. Okay, and you know your rights. So there is consumer law that protects you. It is 5 years.
Okay.
And you can
5
also
years.
create that, yeah, and you can create that letter on ChatGPT as well. Put it in your words and run it through ChatGPT.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Good luck with everything. And continue, because they might not answer you immediately. You need to send a certified mail, okay?
So
you
will
may
it
have to
matter
do-
if it was outside of the Florida, out of the state? Will it matter? Like, let's say if it was something
If
that
she
happened.
lives here, she's governed by Florida law. Okay?
Okay, but let's say if the inquiry or something, or when that inquiry happened before she moved back to the state of Florida, is that something that would
As
affect
long
her?
as she's as long as she's a Florida resident currently, the law still
Okay.
apply to her. It's 5-year statute of limitations. And make
Okay,
sure it's a
perfect.
certified letter, okay? And don't let her
From
sign
the
it.
company,
No
right? From the
signature. Yeah, no signatures. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Sorry,
you so
guys. You're so welcome. Yeah.
I have a question.
Violeta. Who's next?
Um,
Violeta? Who's
Go,
talking?
go ahead. Do you want to go first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Angelique. Thank you so much. Valuable information. I'm actually a lender and realtor. So I love all the information. I personally have never recommended my clients to any credit repair because I'm always so afraid of what they're going to be charged.
Of
Your
course.
prices are a fixed price, or is this something, what is it, monthly or a one-time fee depending on their need? Talk to me about
Correct. Okay, so their pricing is dependent on what is needed and how long, right? So it could start out at $299 to start, right? And that's the first month in their CRM, because we have a CRM system to manage our relationships and stay on top of activity, right? We're very organized here. And then every month will be about, $99 a month, could be $119. It doesn't ever really go above that. And it's just, the meeting, the letters, the education every month. And it really depends. If they need just 2 months, then it's just 2 months of service. So they'll pay their $299 and then that $99 a month, and that's all they pay. There isn't continuous billing after service is done. The moment they're done, we're done. And we push them through their graduation and celebrate them.
Is it a free consultation, the initial one?
Yes, it is. The initial one is a
Okay,
free
and
consultation.
Do you give them a timeline at that time of how long they're going to need? Are they going to need 2 months? Or
Correct.
is they going to need more or less 6 months? Okay.
Correct. We
Okay,
always do a
great.
guesstimation, right? Because we legally cannot promise or guarantee
Yeah.
that every single thing is going to be removed from the credit report by law, but we can guarantee that we will get them to approvable status, and everything is always ranged. So if I feel like something could be done in 4 months, I would actually give them an additional 3 to 4 months just in case, because I like to manage expectations and I don't own the deletion button at the credit companies. Got it.
Gotcha. No, thank you so much. That was great.
No, you're very welcome, Violeta.
I'll
Great
have to
question.
connect with you.
Sounds like a plan. I'm ready. I can't wait to talk to you.
Violeta and team, I'd like to share my testimony and my story. I worked with Angie and her team about a year and a half ago. I was very eager to get a home equity line of credit and very nervous about qualifying, but I took the risk and invested in Angie and her team. And I can tell you that my credit went up. I listened to everything she said. And after she got where I needed to be, I continued to apply. It's all about discipline. Apply the gems that she shared with us. Her prices to me are beyond affordable. $99 or no more than $119 a month for my credit to skyrocket. Like I went from a very low credit score to 780, to be honest with you, just by following her directions month over month. So it's definitely, it's a self-investment. It's your credit. And again, once you apply those gems, it's just life-changing.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. I didn't expect you to be here.
Home equity line of credit, my kitchen and bathroom improvement. And I'm here now to learn about, business credit. So I'm constantly following your story, your journey. And thank you for sharing your information with us.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate you more than you know.
Anyone next? Any questions?
I have a
I
question.
have 2 questions.
Okay, great.
First question is, I have a gentleman who's like, right, they're almost able to qualify for a loan. He's got a credit card and collections and then a car loan. If he pays off the collection card, will that hurt his credit score more since he is like affecting it?
Well, with collections, the account is already closed, so it's already affected and hit his credit score. Now, the question is, are they sending him letters? Are they trying to collect on the debt?
Not that I'm aware of. He reached out to them and paid it. So when
Oh,
it's
he did.
removed, will that, yeah.
Did
without
they
me knowing.
say that they would remove the debt from his credit report when he paid it?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So a lot of collection companies won't do that, but he was able to negotiate for that's called a paid for deletion. And not every credit collection company will allow that. So it's really great that he was able to do that. He should get a letter in the mail in about 30 to 60, potentially 90 days that will say that it's been satisfied, and he may get a 1099-C, okay, which is a debt forgiveness for the remaining balance. Okay, so he should be fine. That should come off the credit report in no time. If it does not, then you should definitely sign up with me. And we can talk about how we could potentially get that removed from the credit report now that he's made payment and they've agreed for deletion. Okay.
Okay, great. And then second question, when starting business credit, how much of a factor is your personal credit to getting your business credit established?
Well, there are 2 different ways to go about establishing business credit, and both do require for you to have a good credit score. You do not have to have excellent, just a good. So if you are dealing with credit challenges, you and I should have a conversation, because I want to empower you. I want to build your wealth in your business credit.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for your question.
I have a question, Angelique.
Sure. Hi, Chad.
Hello, how are you? First of all, thank you
I'm
for
doing great,
fixing
thank
my wife's credit, and
You're
now
welcome.
have $25,000 lines of credit coming through. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being
A lot of
here.
us have, yes, absolutely. A lot of us have decent paying jobs now. However, student loans are tracking. Do you have any information for us for
Yes.
anybody with student loans?
Absolutely. So we help people with student loan debt. We will guide our clients through consolidation, right? A lot of our clients have either defaulted, or they just have it on forbearance, right? And it may be reporting a few late payments affecting their credit scores, even though it's in forbearance, which is so crazy. At Credit Cinch, we have removed 78 student loans. This is like one of the more extreme cases with a doctor in Miami. 78 student loans were removed from the credit report. the doctor was not able to get a home until that happened. And thank God, we were able to get her into a home. And then after the forbearance was over, I think at some point it reactivated. That's when the credit, the student loans reposted to the credit report. That's the more extreme case. But then there are also other cases where we have removed student loans from credit reports, and we do it all the time. It does take time. It's not something that's guaranteed, again, because I don't own the deletion button, but we have been successful with student loans. Did I answer your question, Chad? And you should book an appointment with me so that we could discuss the student loan issue as well. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for your question. Anyone else have a question? Nope, I guess not. We're great. Moving on. Rebecca, are you good? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
no, I'm good. I'm loving everything that you're sharing with us, and we're coming up at the top of the hour already. Personally, you're speaking my love language. I'm wanting to learn more about building the business credit. So exciting stuff. We're so excited to have had you here on our Gap Mastermind. Do you have any closing words before we end the call today?
I do.
Okay.
And I encourage everyone, building business credit takes time. You do have to have a good personal credit score. I invite everyone on here. It is your duty to yourself and your family and your bloodline. We are God's children, and we are destined. It is our birthright to live in wealth. Okay. And we need to put that into action. So I'm going to encourage everyone who is an entrepreneur or even not, purchase my book, Business Credit, Fast Track to Business Credit. It is a path to building business credit. It is a must. It is for aspiring entrepreneurs. I went through the whole gamut of figuring it out, and I put it in Cliff Notes in a book for everyone in my network to win. I encourage you all. Business credit is unlocking major power, and you can visit my Stand store to purchase the book and to really dive in and then book time with me so that we can coach you into being successful with business credit. In the meantime, I thank you all for having me. I appreciate you so much. I welcome you to Fix Your Credit today, 20% off for everyone on this forum. I want to help you. I want to help your unqualified buyers. I want to fill up your pipelines, and I appreciate you for your time.
Thank you so much, Angelique. I think it's so important to be partnered up with people who are passionate about helping other families or people fix their credit, build their credit, create more wealth. And so it's been really refreshing to hear you educate us all on this topic. We would love to have you back again and go
Excellent.
deeper some of these topics, because I think this is highly valuable for our community. And I think that we can do a lot growing together through this. So thank you so much. Everybody light up the chat and just thank her, please, for being on our call. This call is recorded and will be in our Global Alliance University. Also will be available on YouTube, and I highly recommend watching this again. There's a lot of golden nuggets that were shared today to help you build your business, help you help more people. So thank you. Thank you.
The revolution is being televised, Rebecca. We're changing lives.
I love it. I love it. So, and it's always great to have amazing people that you're in partnership with. And I think, Angelique, you are somebody that we definitely have to continue, whether it's you or anyone else who is great in that space. But honestly, you've given us so much to go on today to learn from. So thank you. I definitely will be calling you. And
excellent. Creditsnitch.com. I'm excited, Rebecca. Let's do it.
All right, let's go, everybody. Have a powerful week.
Take care, guys.